Okay, people, I wanted to do a video to put some information out there because of what all I'm seeing and what all I've been able to research on the internet myself. I'm not going to give exact numbers of how many people are on food stamps, how many millions. I mean, there's a place, and as far as HUD housing, there's just in Arkansas alone, there was one place that this person said that they owned all these properties and they were renting them out to housing and urban development, and 80% of their houses are to people who the government subsidizes it, and they're already giving them eviction notices because of the shutdown. They're not expecting this to be a short shutdown. They're expecting it to be prolonged. But that's just a small sampling of the whole country, of all the people that are on HUD houses, Section 8 housing, basically. Then, on top of that, in order to make sure that people had some food stamps, they went ahead and gave out February's food stamps and gave them to them early and said, go buy food now. Because in March, I don't know if they're going to cut off the food stamp program altogether, which is what some people are talking about, or if they just know that the government shutdown is not going to prolong it. And there's notes on every single grocery store in the United States saying, that because of the food stamp situation, they're saying that and they're even having problems with some of the cards, and they can't get that fixed because the government shut down. But and they also can't get 2,500 stores nationwide, which is a small sampling, but 2,500 stores didn't renew their license to take the EBT program, so they could not even use food stamps if you had them. The card, it's not food stamp anymore, it's an EBT card. But the point is, they've got signs up saying, that they are having issues and telling you what's going on with your food stamps. So if you're on that, so there's a reason that I'm doing this video, and the reason you got the view that you got instead of a nice pretty scenic view like I try to give is because it ain't pretty. It's gonna be hard and cold, just like that busted concrete and that ice out there. Okay? And it's going to affect people with jobs, because guess what, people? The price of groceries is going to go up. I can't give you exact numbers, but if you take a calculator and figure out what percentage of the American public spends food stamps or the EBT card, whatever you want to call it, towards their groceries, and how many groceries are bought every year or every month, divided by 12, either way, it's way up there. So that could be as much as, even I would hazard a guess, could that even add up to 30 or 40% of all of the groceries? Could your grocery bill go up by 30 to 40%? I don't know. That's just off the top of my head. I'd have to take a calculator and figure it out. I didn't bring numbers. I'm just bringing the truth here. You should go, and they advise the people with food stamps to go and buy food with them now. I think it's for two reasons. I think, number one, I think that you're going to have to pay more for groceries when the cost of groceries goes up. But also, I think that they may even cut the cards off, and whatever's left on them might not be any good after February. But I would buy things, not potato chips and sodas. I would buy stuff like canned goods and meats you can put in the freezer, stuff that's going to last, stuff you can store, and I would buy it now. For those who are questioning, should they go buy, I would buy it now. But I'm telling you also, as people who work, I would go buy food now. People talk about prepping. The government said that you should prep for a power outage and have stuff, but this is different, and they're saying they fully expect it to be months on end. So what happens is incrementally each department loses money. Well, the food stamps, they've done giving out the last of them for February. If they have any for March, they're saying they don't know if there'll be, if any are given out in March, it might be a reduction by 40% is what I've heard from one place. But they are coming up with a whole new program for that. I think they're going to replace food stamps with it. I don't think it's just to supplement. They're boxing up canned goods in boxes. I don't know if y'all remember the old joke about government cheese, about it would stop you up and stuff, right? Well, a long time ago they used to give out government cheese. It may not have been tasty or whatever. They had powdered milk, stuff like that. But you could survive on it. But people who's been throwing, you know, oxtails and ribeyes and stuff in the grocery cart, they're not going to be able to do that anymore. Not at all. Which, you know, some people were gaming the system. Some people were selling them even, you know, to make money. Taking $200 worth of food stamps and trying to sell them for $100, and then they got cash to spend on something else. And they were using it like a racket. Well, it's going to end that, but also there's people who are on them who need them. And yes, food banks are going to give out food and try to help, but it's a cash-strapped economy. You got 800,000 people out of work that are government employees, and you may not have as many people giving, and it's gonna actually, they're gonna be strapped for cash, and the stuff that they actually are donated to, food banks are gonna run out of food, people, quick, real fast. So you need to get food now, in your cupboard, now. I'm telling you that. I'm not saying the sky is falling. I'm saying they hit it with a sledgehammer. Okay? So, what do I know? I'm just a dumb truck driver. But I'm going to tell you ahead of time. Because I understand things go up in price. They don't go down. And with this here, if they took 40%, those groceries, all those warehouses are still going to want their money. Now, there could be a food shortage if people are trying to, you know, go ahead and buy before the fuel. And that's just the way it is too. But they know, and you should know. They know ahead of time. You should know ahead of time too, and that's why I'm putting this intel out. Because I've been to a lot of different places on the internet. I've been on Twitter. They're talking about, and they're showing the video of the people boxing up this old style, like food stamp EBT, but it's the old style food stamp way of doing it. Before food stamps, they had boxes, and they're talking about they're going to mail them to people's houses, I guess, or, you know, people that are on food stamps are going to be able to get them. It's, you know, canned goods, and this, it's what they want you to eat. Kind of like how they changed the school lunches a while back. Well, they're changing this. You know, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people ain't going to like this, because you can't have them ribeyes and, you know, steaks and stuff. But I'm putting this out there just because if I have knowledge, I think it's good to share it. I think it's fair to share it. And I don't think that the word's got out enough about that you should buy groceries now. I don't know if it's going to go up by 40%. I don't know the exact number. I don't know how many millions of people are on food stamps, but I've looked and it's, you know, a lot. And I don't know when it's going to end, but they're saying that it could go on, they're talking like indefinitely. So all those people, a lot of them have already just quit, the 800,000 that were furloughed, and they've gotten jobs. But all those people out there that are on Section 8 housing, Well, that's going to come up where some of them got paid into February, but they're already getting notices that at the end of February you'll have to come up with money and pay full price or you're out. So it's my understanding is March is when that will hit. And I think that the program for food stamps, I think it's going to end in March. Even without the shutdown, they may be trying to go to that program of boxed food. I'm not sure what the game plan is on that. It seems to me, it seems odd that they're coming up with a whole new program of boxed food. And I don't know if that's just for the shutdown. I think that's what they're going to. So if you're on food stamps, you might just start getting that. So fill up your pantry. Do it while it's cheap and do it while it's on the shelves. Now, you can go ahead and beat me up in the comments if you want. You can tell me I'm saying the sky's falling. I'm just saying the exact same thing that I've seen in different reports on the internet to bring in the people that listen to me when I'm talking. That's all I got for you. So there's going to be a lot more things that are going to get lost as the months go on. But I mean, for them, for the Democrats planning on getting on a plane and splitting and not even worry about it, they know it's going to be for a long time. And they already had wrote up a thing saying that they were already writing up the answer no to anything he was going to come up with. That's why he went ahead and gave them the DACA. And the Dreamer, it said that we, give them a place to stay for whatever and be safe. It's because he knew no matter what he gave them, they were going to say no. This shutdown is real. This is the longest it's ever been, and they're saying it could go on indefinitely. So, because there's a whole 2 more caravans coming up and Mexico's not stopping them, and they're going to consider that to be a national security, a national emergency. They're going to have to call it a national emergency, and then under that they're just going to continue likely the government shutdown. I don't know how long it's going to go on. No one knows. I'm not saying I know. I'm saying that the government has said this is going to be a very long shutdown. And they said that recently, not when it first started. So we could be in for another 6 months. They're saying to prepare for 6 months. I don't have the answers. I'm telling you, though, that if it happens that people run out of their food stamps, and they will, the price of food will go up because that many people are not buying food. So it's supply and demand. They'll make the prices go up. They never make them go down. So that's all I got for you. I'm going to get off this thing. I hope this video was helpful. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but just as sure as that concrete's busted up right there and it's had a rough day, it looks like, it's going to be rough. And to that end, there'll be more homeless people because they're kicked out of their places. And there'll be more people asking for food. Now, I showed how to do a backpacks for the homeless. I can put a link to that video, but at the same time, you might want to go ahead and stock up now. That's all I got. I'm going to get off this thing. I'm going to put this up as a video. Don't beat me up too bad about it. I'm just giving knowledge. So, y'all stay safe. I'm out. Peace.